Yo, what's up, good people? Y'all know what time it is. It's AA Sports, straight sports, no chaser. You got the super team of sports talk here with y'all tonight. I'm one half of it, Diego Barishnikov, the Black Dominican Russian, and I'm checking in with my main man, my partner in crime, the 6 foot and under, post up champ. Tell him who you are.
What's good people? It's the other A and AA Sports, your boy Uncle Hate, broadcasting live on a Tuesday, doing our Week 8 recap show. What's good with you, homie?
Man, I can't call it. Pretty good week pick-wise this week. I know you went undefeated. I went 12-1, so good looking there. We'll get into our picks probably later on in the week as we do the next week picks and go over our overall totals and everything.
I decided going forward with the picks, I'm going to wear the turban every Thursday because I'm like a genie at this shit.
Okay, this week you're going to go like 6 and 12.
Hey, I didn't see that undefeated one coming. I didn't see that one coming. But, we'll get in there. Thursday, we talk about – that's the prognostication show. This the recap show.
Yes, sir. So, y'all know we're going to get into our Week 8 recap, go over those games. We're going to break down about 4 or 5 games in a little bit further detail. We got our champs and chumps as always. We're going to vote on the piss to bed award of the week, and we got some more NFL news, trade, a lot of trade activity going on here on the deadline on this Halloween night. Man, I ain't thinking about it. We should have wore a costume or something for the show. We slipping.
I ain't even think about it. Don't even feel like Halloween. Don't even feel like it.
Not really. I ain't watched The Great Pumpkin, so.
I posted it on the gram, so I know that's out there. But, that's our Halloween when we was kids. The Great Pumpkin and all them other little cartoons. Kids probably don't even know about that now.
Right. Oh, man. All right, so, people, we're going to jump right on into it. Again, we're going to run down these scores right quick from the Week 8 games. Starting off last Thursday, we had the Thursday night games. The Baltimore Ravens put in a beatdown on the Miami Dolphins 40-0. Miami Dolphins are in a heap load of trouble.
We're going to talk about them in a minute, but I got a question about that real quick. Is Joe Flacco still in that dark room?
Man, Joe, Kiko Alonso lit his ass up. And I didn't have no problem with the hit. Yeah, it's flaggable, but it wasn't dirty at all. Joe slid late trying to get that first down. I mean, it's football. Shit happens.
Hey.
So next up, then we had your what we thought would be a close competitive game. I didn't get to watch it. Watch the stream for this game wasn't really functioning properly. But your Carolina Panthers going into Tampa winning 17-3. No Luke Kuechly was out. No, you mentioned that last week about him being a big heart and soul piece of the team. Defense showed up, only 3 points.
He played this game, had a fumble recovery and an interception.
Okay, so he was back. Okay.
He caught the interception that sealed the game.
Okay.
I'm starting to believe he's more important to that team than Cam. I'm really starting to believe that.
Maybe on to something. All right, y'all, division rival, the Atlanta Falcons, went up to the Meadowlands and pulled out one from the New York Jets. That game was looking shaky, y'all, for the Falcons the whole time. Seemed like the Jets was going to steal it, but the Falcons take that one 25-20.
We're going to talk about that game in a little bit, but Matt Ryan's arm and wind, no bueno.
Minnesota, the London game, Minnesota 33 over the Cleveland Browns, 33-16. Cleveland Browns. We got some more to come up with them later on. Just the Browns being the Browns, I tell you. The Buffalo Bills beat down the Oakland Raiders 34-14. You called this one. You said you believe in Ty God. So the Buffalo Bills doing big things. I think they were 5-2 now. Who saw that coming?
I know, right?
Maybe they can break that drought of playoff appearances, and maybe they'll be to go ahead and join the party of being the only team not to have a playoff berth in the 21st century.
They played the Jets on Thursday, and I would pick them in that game. They would be 6-2. The Buffalo Bills. Wow.
Halfway to go, so we'll see how that shapes out.
Wow.
Cincinnati Bengals squeaking one out, 24-23 over the Colts. Well, we had the New England Patriots winning one against the LA Chargers, 21-13. Drew Brees and the Saints take care of business at home, 20-12 over the Chicago Bears. My San Francisco 49ers, another beatdown at the hands of the Philadelphia Eagles, 33-10. Next up game, this was a the best game of the day, in my opinion. The Seattle Seahawks pulling out one 41-38 over the Texans.
Was this another game we wanted to step out there?
I wasn't on this one, not me.
Maybe I was concerned because I didn't think he'd go up there and ball the way he did. But go ahead. I thought I was. Yeah, I wouldn't have did that.
All right. We had the Dallas Cowboys in the monsoon beating the Washington Redskins 33-19. Pittsburgh Steelers in the Sunday night game 20-15 over the Lions. Pittsburgh, to me, missed some opportunities in that game to kind of blow it open.
Yeah, they did.
But it's got camouflaged by Juju's big run. Then it was at the third quarter, I think.
Man, the 93-yard touchdown. Ben ain't got that in him. Throw that ball that deep no more. That boy outran that whole secondary, entire secondary.
Yep. Hey, I guess he's getting some good practice this week. Since his bike had gotten stolen, so he was.
That little homie had a good week, man. He had a good week. Got his bike back, scored that long touchdown, moved Martavius further down the depth chart.
Juju looking like he might be a star, man. Looking like he might be a star, especially personality-wise. Starting to see him out here on social media, and a lot of people are taking to him.
He from USC too, right?
Right.
I'm surprised. They don't normally put out ballers.
Those quarterbacks and those receivers don't normally pan out, especially the receivers.
It's early. We'll see.
You may get a serviceable quarterback out of the bunch every now and then, but you like I said, it's early, but I like what I'm seeing out of him so far. And then last night, the Monday night game, Kansas City Chiefs only scored 29 points, beat the Denver 29-19. I say only because they should have had 28 by the end of the first quarter.
They sure should have.
All right.
They should have.
So that is the quick recap of the scores of Week 8. Now we're going to get into some game breakdowns. So, again, we mentioned Buffalo Bills beating the Oakland Raiders 34-14. So we're going to dive into that game first. I know you picked this Buffalo team to beat Oakland at home.
I did.
Did it play out the way you thought it would?
I didn't think it was going to be a beatdown like this. I ain't even going to flex. I didn't see beatdown. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find something for the – okay, there it is. I didn't think it was going to be a beatdown. I honestly thought that the Raiders coming off of that win in Kansas City, that was the momentum starter. That could get the ball rolling. But I think you mentioned it last show, maybe the show before last. It's always typical when these West Coast teams fly east and play that 1 o'clock game. It can always go this way. And it seemed like they came out flat. I mean, one thing to mention, too, Buffalo had 2 defensive touchdowns in this game. 2.
Right, and one of them was real big. I think it was I want to say the game was like 7-7 end of the first half or so.
Yeah, it wasn't high scoring early.
Oakland had the ball driving, and I think Carr threw a pick 6, I want to say it was.
Can we say that the most disappointing this year so far? Because the expectations were high.
Oh, absolutely. I had them in the Super Bowl. Matter of fact, I think I had them winning it.
No, they only lost Carr for 1 game, so it wasn't like they had significant injuries. So you lost your quarterback for 1 game. Everybody been healthy. And you underachieving like this?
Absolutely. So I would say them from the AFC and the New York Giants from the NFC, the biggest disappointment.
Yes, sir. I agree. David Carr, I mean, but they threw the ball 49 times. 49.
That's just not a recipe for winning, man, to me.
That's starting to be one of my things. Like I know people always say you turn the ball over, you lose. If you're having to throw the ball that many times and you're not getting nothing on the running game, I think in most cases you're going to lose. In most cases.
Right. Because if you got to do that, you're probably battling back from a deficit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, in most cases. So, yeah, that doesn't really pan out. I didn't see – well, I can't say I didn't see it because I didn't really watch this game. But it doesn't look like the running backs did anything to prevent Marshawn Lynch from coming back in and being the subpar first-string running back for this team. I mean, somebody got to hold down the number 1 spot. I guess it'll be him.
I haven't watched this YouTube show. Have you watched it?
I haven't.
Okay, because he looks like he's having fun. I don't think football is really like a priority right now.
I got to get up on my YouTube shows. I just started watching the LeVar and them show, Ball in the Fall.
I haven't watched that yet. It's actually
pretty good, man. It's actually pretty good. It's only about 10 episodes, and they only about maybe 20 minutes long or so. So you can run through a couple of them real quick. But they entertain, especially that little boy LaMelo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Tyrod threw the ball 27 times, only had 165 yards, 20 of 27, which sounds like dink and dunk shouty. I like what he was doing. But they got it done. Shout out to LaShawn McCoy. Boy, you was killing me them first 5 weeks in fantasy. You done gave me something these last 2 weeks. He is showing up and showing out finally. But the Buffalo Bills, man, we didn't see this one coming at all.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. But, hey, I'm trying to let me look at the rest of this box score and see anything that jumps out. They need to cut down on the penalties. Okay.
I mean,
looking at this, it's definitely the turnovers. Raiders have 4 turnovers, 2 of them for defensive touchdowns for Buffalo. I think that's pretty much a game there.
They had the ball 11 more minutes than them. Hey, got to do better. What's on Oakland's record right now?
They are now. I'm pretty sure they are 3-5.
I mean,
I think they're 3-5.
Ain't necessarily running away with this. Well, what's Kansas City? They're what, 5-2?
6-2.
Okay. Nah. We'll talk about Kansas City in a second, but we can keep going.
With the Raiders, it's Amber Alert time for them because
we didn't put them on that last week after that KC win. We was like, okay, they seem like they back now, but yes, Amber Alert time.
It's Amber Alert time because you think about the top of the AFC, what it's looking like right now. The Patriots, you got the throwing the Bills. They 5-2. So then you got the Jacksonville Jaguars, Texans, the Titans.
Pittsburgh 5-2.
Yeah. So if you take the division leaders right now, it would be Steelers, Titans, Patriots, and the Chiefs, and it's only 2 wild card spots. And right now, the Broncos and Chargers are ahead of the Raiders, and they own division, and neither one of them teams would even make the wild card today. So the Raiders got some uphill climbing to do.
They might be sending out their scouts to go pay a little bit more attention to these first-round picks right now. Maybe they weren't thinking they were going to be picking high in the draft.
They might be in that 15 to 20 range.
Now they might be moving a little bit further up, Yeah.
Yeah, they thought they were going to be picking somewhere like 27 to 32. In the 15 to 20 range, homie. All right, let's move on to the second game.
The Atlanta Falcons played the New York Jets. Currently, going into this game, the Atlanta Falcons had lost every game they played to the AFC East this season. They lost to the Dolphins, they lost to the Patriots, they lost to the Bills. In a row, matter of fact. This would have been 4 in a row to one division. But they pulled it out. I will give them this. They said it was a damn monsoon up there. Wind, it was cold. People, if you don't know anything about Matt Ryan don't have no strong arm. Last year when they were balling, he was throwing them long balls to Julio. He was throwing them from his feet. I'm talking every ounce of him was in that ball. Everything in him. His arm, that was in the dome. He had to throw the ball that hard. Imagine in the wind. You just don't have it. But they pulled it out. They won.
Who was the other quarterback that I always say be throwing the ball with all they might?
I know you're talking about
who it is. Alex. It was Alex.
Yeah. Alex ain't got that. It looked like Alex got in the weight room this summer though.
Who got the weaker arm? Matt Ryan or Alex Smith?
I think Alex got in the weight room this summer. It's Matt Ryan.
I don't know, man.
Alex plays in Kansas City outside though. Matt in a dome having to throw with everything in him, cuz it still be looking like that ball.
You stupid.
It should be like, everything in him.
See him put him in the pass punt kick competition.
That'd be interesting. But looking at his numbers, Matt went 18 to 29, 254 yards, 2 TDs. Only got sacked once. But I tell you what's interesting when you look at them numbers, McCown outplayed him.
I mean, looking at the numbers, yeah, but looking at the game, I mean, it was about even. I mean, the Jets did. They missed a lot of opportunities to win. Jeremy Curley caught the lemon booty at the end of the game, big time. He missed a fourth down pass that would have put them inside the red zone and scored a go-ahead touchdown, and he dropped the ball. But this was an all right game for the Falcons. I mean, I thought they could have played a lot better. I thought if they would have been playing a little bit better of a team than the Jets, that they would have got beat again for the fourth straight time. But hey, they did what they had to do on the road. Like I said, it was a sloppy game from the start. Matt Ryan in the center. Alex Mack? They couldn't get the snap right. I think they dropped and fumbled 4 snaps during this game. I think they lost 2 of them. So it was a lot of issues going on, weather-wise and ball security, ball control-wise.
I've been waiting all year long for that signature game like they used to put up last year, them 35, 40-point games. I haven't seen that one time this year. Not one. We're heading into week 9, and
right.
Yeah.
And I know like week 4 or 5. I know I was. You may have been the same, but like get Sarkisian a little bit of time. But that's the only thing different from last year.
That's it.
Now I don't think the defense is playing as good this year.
Desmond Trufant got his money while hurt last year and been getting his ass kicked every Sunday since then. Every Sunday.
How many times they gonna let little Robbie Anderson smoke them? Cuz is running go routes left and right.
I'm telling you, they paid him as their number 1, fam. He gets his ass kicked every Sunday.
And I like Trufant. I like him too. I thought he was the better out of the 2 between him and Alfred.
Right. I don't know.
It ain't looking that way now.
Nah.
That ain't good.
It ain't much to say about the Jets. I mean, like, they hung in this game, but they're supposed to be tanking, so. Yeah.
Go figure. So
we can move on to the next game from there. Now, this one here was entertaining. I watched most of this game on Sunday. The Houston Texans and the Seattle Seahawks put on a show. Seattle won 41-38. This QB battle was something serious. I know you mentioned this off air that you want to talk about our halfway point MVPs on Thursday.
Yeah.
But Russell Wilson looks really good.
He does, especially, with what he's playing with as far as that offensive line is concerned. No running game. And to me, I like Doug Baldwin. He's good. He ain't no elite number 1 receiver. He getting by with this dude, Pooh Richardson. That's a basketball.
That's old school.
Paul Richardson, he getting by with him. Jimmy Graham spent half of this game in witness protection.
Yes.
But they got it done. I don't know how, because I think it was in the third quarter they had -1 rushing yards. I'm like, how the hell are they in this game with no rushing yards?
Because they had 3 backs that combined for 16 carries and 5 total yards. 5.
They all suck.
Every last one of them suck. But I tell you what, as much as I don't dig Colin Cowherd, sometimes I have to agree with some of the things he says. Cam Newton is dealing with the same thing Russell Wilson is. No line, no running game. But Russell's getting it done with nothing in front of him. Nothing. You can say everything you want, but Russell is getting it done with nothing. Half the dudes probably couldn't even be the second and third receiver on most teams. But they're balling for him. And that defense, boy, I want to say, I know I asked you a couple weeks ago about the Cardinals defense. And I know we've been saying, we came into the season saying, ain't nobody scared of Seattle no more. Nobody's scared of them. Deshaun Watson's a rookie, home. He walked into the Kingdom up there and got in their ass. Went at Sherman. Went at, Earl.
Yeah, we full of throwback terms. They said the Kingdom.
Oh, I did. I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's old school Seattle. The new breed Seattle fan, they don't know nothing about that. That's Steve Largent days. That's way back.
Yeah.
Your boy Sean Alexander.
Yeah, that's your fault. He's still in the dark room too.
He didn't play. He ain't playing the Kingdom, but yeah. But I done went to the left. Forgot what we was talking about. We talking about what, Russell Wilson?
Nah, well,
Defense.
the defense.
Yeah, I was saying last week that I had them as a team ranked above the Rams because they beat the Rams head to head, and at the end of the day, this team has been there before, and I trust them in the big games come playoff time. But right now, they look average on defense.
Average.
And have you seen Cam Chancellor?
Nah, he hiding too after he got his bread.
Because they heard his name all year.
And one thing too about that Rams loss, had Cooper caught that touchdown, they would have
went the other way. Right.
Would have went the other way because it wasn't like they stopped them. They had legit shots at the end zone each time, but they dropped the balls. But all defenses get older at times. These cats done got their money. Maybe they done got a bit complacent. Because it's almost like they talk more than what they're doing on the field. Folks ain't scared of them no more at all.
And the biggest difference I see in the pass rush, in the defense, is the pass rush, or the lack thereof, really.
Yeah.
That got them by a lot of times too, because they had a mean ass front seven, and with the corners that they had, this lockdown city when the quarterback got to get rid of the ball that quick.
Well, maybe are they missing Averill more than we thought?
They're missing him. What is Michael Bennett doing?
Nothing.
So I don't care who you are as a corner. You can't. Once you get past like 5 seconds, it's hard to keep covering receivers down the field like that. You're gonna get exposed.
I should have gave
biting on double moves.
I should have gave Sherman a chunk for the way Will Fuller was whooping his ass Sunday. That was ridiculous. But
like you said before, nobody's scared of them no more. The mystique.
And I ain't even think about it till you just said it. Yeah, you ain't heard Cam Chancellor's name none this year. None. He got his bread and that's it. You've heard nothing. But at the end of the day, they were 5-2.
At the end of the day, they're 5-2 in an NFC that's a toss-up.
They the best team in the NFC right now, give or take, right?
You got to put them up there, the Eagles.
I'd take them over Philly right now.
Some people saying the Rams and the Saints, but that's about it.
I know our record is 1-2.
Sneaky 2, a sneaky 5-2.
Yeah, I wouldn't put us in that category till we figure out our offense, but they seem like the beast right now in the NFC. The quiet beast.
Yeah, you're right. Because like I said, a lot of press clippings and all that is going to Philly right now. So,
right.
We'll see with the second half of the season.
But yeah, solid game. Shout out to Deshaun Watson. He got sacked 5 times. He did throw 3 interceptions, but 400 yards passing, 67 rushing. The boy's good, man. The boy's good. All right, next up on the list, the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Redskins renewed their rivalry, and Dallas won 33-19. This was another rainy, cold game. And Dallas followed Zeke. Zeke leads the way. People, if y'all don't put this together, I know y'all want to anoint Dak and make it all about him. Dak's pretty good, but if he don't have Zeke putting in that work, it really don't look the same. It's kind of dope when you're looking at second or third down and you only got 4 yards to go or 5 yards to go compared to 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8.
Yeah.
But I tell you one thing, speaking of Mr. Elliott, we're going to find out a whole lot about Dak Prescott coming up soon with Zeke suspension on again.
Now, is his appeal or this latest appeal or the last appeal going to be heard?
I think they said they're trying to get it done this week.
Okay.
It's ridiculous, guys. It's ridiculous.
I'm like, somebody just give up.
And it's like, and I say that it's ridiculous, but then I think about it. Like, what if that was one of us and we know we didn't do the shit and somebody's saying, take that suspension, and I know I didn't do it?
Not 6 games.
Yeah, and they should, at this point, just come at the boy with 3 to get it over with. You know, they gotta save face at this point, so it's just gonna keep continuing. You said it last week on the side chat. You was like, well, if the injunction go through, it's gonna be over with. If he wins, ain't nothing they can do. And I said, we'll see. There'll be more law into it. I've never seen it like this before.
Keep
it's
going.
like he go to Texas, lose, go to New York, win, then he fly to Minnesota, lose. I'm like, damn.
What's the end game here? Somebody, you got to stop at some point.
Something. I mean, damn. But
at the end of the day, he's gonna get suspended.
He's gonna get the 6 at some point. Take him now. You should have took him the first of the year.
Like I was saying, I don't think I said
now as far as
uh-oh.
Go ahead.
No, I said we had a little bit of technical difficulty there. You good? Mic check. All right, we have a little bit of technical difficulty. People, we get Uncle Hate back in here. Again, thanks for listening to us on the Spreaker platform and those of y'all watching us on YouTube. He back. Uncle Hate.
I'm with
so now, what were you saying, though?
No, I was just going back to Dak. Now, looking at Dak's numbers from this game, 14 of 22, 143 yards, no touchdowns, no picks, only got sacked twice. Those are some pedestrian-ass numbers. Now, I understand it was raining and it was cold, but those are some pedestrian numbers. And if you take Zeke's 150 yards and 2 touchdowns out, and you're gonna depend on Alfred Morris and hopefully Darren McFadden to get this same production.
Right. You talk about Dak's numbers being pedestrian, but he's got some pedestrian ass targets he's working with too.
Boy, I'm starting to feel that way about Dez, man.
Talk about Dez not getting separation anymore, and which is fine. He can turn into a more athletic Anquan Bolden. He a possession guy. There ain't nothing wrong with that, but you got to have a speed guy to take the top off the defense. And Terrence Williams, the shiny stuff on that coin been dull for a couple years now.
Terrence Williams is just –
he's garbage.
How long are they going to keep waiting on that potential?
And like you said, we know what Jason Witten is giving them, with like 3 balls and 25 yards a game, if that. So, yeah, if they don't have Zeke, they are in trouble. And they already staring up at Philly in a very competitive NFC.
They're going to lose Sunday. They got Kansas City Sunday.
That's probably an L, yeah. Probably an L. And that's probably – I'm looking forward to that Marcus Peters, Dez Bryant matchup. That might be a fight.
Yeah. Have they played Philly yet this year?
Dallas?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they have.
Because if they haven't played them and Zeke misses most of them games, I don't know if they played them.
No, they haven't played them yet.
So you got 2 with them. You got another with Washington. They played the Giants once, and they should have lost that game.
This is Dallas' next 6 games. Kansas City at home this week. They got to come to the Falcons. And they got the Eagles at home. Got the Chargers at home. Redskins at home, and then they go to the Giants. So I can see them coming out of that 3-3 at the least.
That's you hoping for 3-3. You're hoping for it. Because I can see a loss to Atlanta. I can see a loss to Philly. I can see a loss to Kansas City.
Right.
So the Chargers, depending on how they play it, it's in LA, right?
No, it's in Dallas, and it's a Thanksgiving game.
Oh, they'll win that game. They'll win that one.
So they got that, and they got the Redskins coming in there on a Thursday. So if they figure they could win that.
That'll be the last game before Zeke can come back if he go ahead and sit his ass down.
Well, no, that'll be the 5th game. The 6th game would be the Giants game, December 10th.
Okay.
So he would be back for the last 3 games, which is at Oakland, the Seahawks coming to Dallas, and then at Philly to end the season with probably the season on the line.
Hey.
That don't look good.
It really don't. Amber Alert time for them too?
We'll see what happens this week. Hey, like we said, it ain't but 2 wild card spots. Philly on the verge of running away with this division. Like you said, they play them twice, so they still got that in the hip pocket.
Hey.
They can't lose. They need this game. They need this game.
Yeah, they better win. That game's in Kansas City?
No, it's in Dallas.
Oh, well, you know what? Alex might piss the bed that game. This might be the legend of Dak game where Dak put up like 400 yards with no Zeke.
I'm about to say, yeah, it's gonna have to be on that.
If he do that, boy, I tell you, that'd be better than Michael Jordan comeback.
If Zeke don't play this game, and you looking at Marcus Peters on Dez, Cole Beasley gonna have to catch like 13 balls.
if he do, because if he gets 13 balls, they ain't gonna have about 57 yards.
I don't know what they gonna do, bro. I don't know what they gonna do.
Man, I tell you, they gotta go find some little small fellas who are fast. They need somebody to take something off that defense. All right.
So last game, Monday night game last night. Kansas City Chiefs 29, Denver Broncos 19. This was painful to watch if you're a Broncos fan. The defense, man, that defense is playing lights out, man. They balling. But the offense ain't giving them nothing, man. Trevor Siemian, I mean, he threw 3 interceptions, but he probably threw another 5 or 6 balls that were nowhere near the receivers.
Because this defense has been dealing with this fuck shit quarterback play for 3 years. Peyton's last year, Siemian last year, and Siemian this year. That's 3 years of fuck shit at QB. Do you think anybody stepped up to talk, kind of like that last year where Russell Okung tried to talk and Akeem Talib told him to go sit down somewhere? They ain't do the part.
It probably is not happening. I mean, this is one of those games you look at the box score and can be fooled because Denver, had 23 first downs at Kansas City 16. They had the ball more. They almost outgained them by 100 yards. Kansas City was 0 for 3 in the red zone, but Denver had 5 turnovers.
That's the main number that sticks out, the 5. That's it.
Again, and Kansas City 2 for 12 on third down. They really didn't play all that great this game. Like I said, they should have really blown them out.
Alex Smith looked terrible.
I want to say their field goal kicker kicked, like 5 field goals?
About 5, I believe.
So they were not converted.
Alex ain't looked that bad in a while. I mean, just the accuracy was just – and it wasn't like he had time. Von Miller was jumping off sides more than he got to. Did Alex get sacked? He got sacked one time in that game, just once.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the pressures might have been there, but it's a couple of them balls. And John Gruden was on his ass last night. He's just missing these passes. Got to make those. What's going on?
Yeah. Another thing that stuck out, everything is kind of – I know Alex has played well this season, but everything kind of got to be a perfect storm with him sometimes. And they were balling Kareem Hunt's little ass up. They won't let him get nothing. What did he have, 46 yards on 22 carries?
But this is what this defense does. I wasn't expecting Hunt to ball because they stopped the run. They really stopped the run. But it's John Elway has to be he has to be held accountable for this. I mean, he has to.
I mean, he's had ample opportunity. He's had a few opportunities to get a quarterback, and he's dropped the ball and with the signing of others. We know what he did with Brock. Well, he let Brock walk.
He let Brock walk.
He never pulled a trade on the Colin Kaepernick deal, which
could have got McCarron.
Could have got A.J. McCarron. So
he could have got Tyrod Taylor last summer.
And he chose to stick it out with Trevor Siemian. So
Josh McCown. Anybody.
Hey man. Trevor Siemian's their guy. We're gonna see how much longer that lasts.
I don't think he's gonna start this week. I think that's a done deal.
I mean, but if they start Brock, he'll be right back in there soon. But they got to give Paxton Lynch a chance at some point.
I think he's still hurt. I think.
Well, this is his 3rd year on the roster, and he ain't played a game yet.
Damn, did we put them on Amber Alert last week?
I don't think we did because I think they came off a win last week. But
nah, they ain't won no games recently. Denver.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
If we didn't, they need to be on them.
No, I'm thinking about Kansas City lost the previous week to Oakland. That's what I was thinking about.
I think we might have put Denver on there. Matter of fact, I know we did.
If we didn't, they need to be.
Yeah, they need to be. So,
do you like Booker or Anderson more in his run game? I think I'm liking Booker a little bit more.
Booker seems explosive. He seems really explosive. I tell you what, it's hard to say this because Jamal Charles, he's been great for years. He's always been he'll make the costly fumble at all times. At all times. He messed up that whole game to me last night with that first fumble.
That first drive, they were going pretty well, and yeah, he killed it.
He's always been that, but he's been so good you can't really sit his ass down. But I think they just need to go to Anderson and Booker. I like Anderson as far as the pounder, but Booker seems explosive. I think his main issue was he used to fumble. But
yeah, these are
got no quarterback because you're gonna have 8-9 in the box either way.
And these are their next 4 games. Denver, they got to go to Philly. They got the Patriots coming in. Then they got Cincinnati, and then they got to go to Oakland. 2-2 at best, right?
At best.
Probably
at
1-3.
So they're gonna be high in the draft again as well, too, huh? You know what a lot of cats are doing, and they I know you talking about what's on your whiteboard. You know how many general managers are just cleaning their whole board right now, having to start over. All the plans for free agency in the summer, and we're gonna be picking around 25 to 30. Nah, you might want to get on the plane, go watch some of these games on the weekends now.
Yep, get your scouting department on the road, get them on the road.
Yes, sir. Y'all gotta work weekends now, fellas. Sorry.
Another thing, and looking at the numbers, it makes it even more glaring. But just looking at the game itself, without looking at no numbers or anything last night,
yeah,
I think people have figured out Tyreek Hill.
Oh yeah, put a safety over the top. First of all, a lot of those chunk plays, his ass was wide open. Put a safety over the top of him.
Yeah,
man, these cats are fast, man. But what route does he run besides the go?
Last night he had 2 balls, 38 yards on 10 targets.
What route does he run beside a go?
No, I'm sorry. Kelsey had 10 targets. Tyreek Hill had 6 targets. So if you take away, Travis Kelsey had 133 yards on 7 catches. You take that away, and you take away the 2 touchdowns that Kansas City had on defense. And what did they have? What did they do?
Nothing.
Okay.
Hey, you take that 133 out of Alex's 202, he only had like 70 yards. Nothing. They did nothing. And I tell you what, I feel the most nervous about that team. How can you have that good of a record right now? They only lost 2 games this year. Mm-hmm. Only 2 games, 5-2. And you feel like the last couple games, they got walked down late. They should have lost that game last night. They should have lost.
Yeah, I think they had a big enough cushion last night, though.
Oh, that lemon booty was coming on. When it got down to 19-23, it was coming on.
Yeah.
They were scared. All right, let's transition over to these champs and chumps of the week. I will start off with my champs. Champ number 1 goes to the Carolina Panthers defense. We got our captain back, Luke Kuechly. From what I was told, Tampa's offense was top 5 in the league going into that game. Jameis was putting up about 300. Yeah, surprisingly. Jameis was putting up about 380 yards a game passing. You know, a lot of that shit was junk.
Talk about funny money, boy.
Right. But we shut them down. Mike Evans is solid. Boy, Deshaun Jackson. Boy, have you heard his name much this year?
Yeah, I mean, 3 or 4 balls, about 40, 50 yards at the most is all you've been getting out of him. I still don't think – I haven't watched their last couple games. Matter of fact, I haven't caught a game since they played the Patriots that Thursday night. So yeah. I guess I've missed the last 2 games.
That was his best game, I believe. But you know what's happening down there? You know how angry his little ass get? He just pulsing up. Just pulsing up. As soon as Jameis sail one ball behind him or below him, he going to just blow up one day. But we got that done. Shout out to Deshaun Watson. 400 yards passing, 67 yards on the road in Seattle. Hey, that young man's coming of age. Kareem Hunt was running away with Rookie of the Year. I believe it has gone back down to Texas now. And shout out to the Buffalo Bills. 5-2. Nobody saw this coming. Just maybe Tyrod to get a real deal this summer, not that funny money. Just maybe.
You think they'll reward him?
Just maybe. All right, my chumps. Hugh Jackson. I'll just we talked about the Browns a bit earlier, but you're getting conflicting reports. Because you got one report coming out saying Hugh Jackson told them he can make Deshaun Kaiser good. I heard him say that they should pass on. Kobe Kessler was good. They didn't need Carson Wentz or Deshaun Watson. If you said any of those things, you should clean your desk out right now. But Browns going Brown.
Yeah.
Number 2, Trevor Siemian and John Elway. You two are tied at the hip. You are wasting the prime of a Super Bowl winning defense. You're wasting their prime. And there are no other options. It ain't like you can do shit else. This is it.
Yeah.
And my last chunk, this would be a surprise. This would be a good look for you. Shout out to the Chicago Bears front office. Shout out to your dumbasses for giving the San Francisco 49ers their quarterback of the future, who we will be discussing later. You gave them their quarterback in an attempt to move up when you didn't have to move up. You didn't have to. So now if Jimmy Garoppolo turns into whatever he may turn into, you get to get your ass whooped by him in the playoffs if y'all get there. And no, y'all gave it to him. I hope Mitchell Trubisky works out for y'all because that was dumb. Shout out to them. What you got?
All right, so for my champs, I'm gonna start off with Russell Wilson. We alluded to it earlier. You know how he's working with damn near nothing up there. No line, no run game, mediocre receivers. You know, if you ask me, but he's still getting it done. Throwing for over 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, only 1 pick. You know, pulling out a high-scoring game at home. That's what he's supposed to do. But he's been playing better and better, and he's in my MVP talk.
Yes, sir.
We'll get to that later on this week. My next champ, Juju Smith-Schuster. Coming in, I just kind of had a feeling this was going to be his breakout game. You know, a lot of talk. His name was in the news a lot during the week, from the stolen bike to the taking Martavius Bennett's spot. Is he better? You know, all of this. And the boy showed up. He showed up big time. He showed up big time. He's a playmaker, and I think he is another star in the making.
Yes, sir.
Going over to my chumps, Penn State. Y'all getting the chump this week for letting Ohio State come back on y'all late in that game and stealing one. And pretty much, more than likely, putting your national championship hopes in the toilet. Good job. Good job. My next chump, Robert McNair, the Texans owner, who decided, you know, to come out last week and say, not only it came out that in the owners meeting, he made an analogy of the players being, what do you say, the inmates can't run the prison.
And it wouldn't have been bad if he'd have said the asylum, because most people say that. But the prison?
That's how the analogy actually goes, right, the asylum. So
come on.
And then the lame excuse that he tried to pull out. No, I wasn't talking about the players. I was talking about the owners in the league, that relationship. Okay, whatever. Miss me with that.
Right.
Yeah, miss me with that. So you're not only getting the chump for, you know, for saying that, for the lie coming, or, you know, the lie. We pretty much think that you're telling about the excuse or reason that you said it. But going even a little bit further than that, I hope you know this is going to really, really hurt the Houston Texans going down the road as far as getting free agents. Because, see, the majority of this league called NFL is majority black, you know, and that's going to hinder you from getting some free agents. Trust me, it will.
What do you think about Deshaun not kneeling with them?
I didn't even pay attention to that part to see who did.
I didn't watch it. I just heard what he said, because he came out and was like, "Nah, I'm always gonna kneel. I'm yada yada." And I was like, "Well, I mean, you are the leader of the team, and most of the veterans and everybody stood. That's a tough spot to be in as a young man or whatever." But
right, I mean, you know, if that's you know, if he felt strong enough to continue to kneel, hey, then do it.
Yeah.
What I would have loved to see, though, and we didn't get a chance to see it because he's not he's not with the team because he ain't healthy. I wonder what J.J. Watt's reaction would have been to this.
Very good question.
Because I haven't heard him come out and say anything. He was throwing out a first pitch at the Astros game over the weekend. But I would have been very interested if he was on the team, you know, playing and healthy, what his response would have been to these particular comments.
Very good point. Seemed like he would have stepped out there and said something in support of his teammates, but, you know, he too busy in the woods cutting down trees, shooting up that shit, trying to get back right.
Right. Now, before we get to the last couple segments, I know I told you I had some Deshaun Watson hate, quote unquote hate.
Oh,
It's not really hate. It's just a little caution because I'm a pessimist.
yeah.
So I'm just sitting here thinking how they build you up. One time you had that run back game,
Cut your ass down.
they won't come and knock your ass off. So I'm just skeptical about that because I'm hearing MVP talk and I'm hearing
That's
he's
ridiculous.
expected to throw 45, 50 touchdowns. Just slow down. He doing good right now because last year y'all was saying the same thing about Dak. And, now we kind of turning the narrative on Dak a little bit. Well, is Dak what we think he is? Because if he don't have Zeke, what can he do? It could be the same thing come this time next year or even later on this year with Deshaun Watson. So let's just
This fella right here, he had a really good rookie season. I think he broke rookie records for a quarterback.
right.
And when it started to go the other way, they pull you down, homie. So
Exactly. We talk about I think about Kaepernick. 2011, 2012. It was kissing biceps and he was video games and commercials with Russell Wilson. As soon as he started to decline a little bit, you started hearing that narrative changing. Well, maybe he's not this, maybe he's not that. And this was before all the protest stuff.
right.
They'll build you up to knock you down. So, Deshaun, just keep your head on straight, man. Don't worry about too much about the talk. If you're in an interview, be grateful, be humble about it, but don't play too much into it, homie. Just keep grinding, keep grinding.
There you go. All right, let's run through these NFL trades. It felt like the NBA trade deadline.
Boy, what are you saying?
Because it was never trades really the last couple of years like that. I mean, you might get one, maybe. I think the biggest trade I can recall in the last 10, 15 years is you remember Clinton Portis for Champ Bailey, how big that was?
Yeah, the Washington and Denver, yeah.
You don't really see trades with teams like this. NFL don't do this. But, hey, it's getting done now. So let's start off, let you speak on this. What do you think about y'all getting Jimmy G?
I like the deal for a number of reasons. One, okay, we talked about Kirk Cousins last week, and we don't think he is in the elite class, and we don't think he's going to ever get to elite. We think he's an above-average quarterback, or at least I do. Above average, we've pretty much seen what Kirk Cousins is. I don't think his ceiling is any higher than what it is right now. With Jimmy G, there's still some unknown, of course, but for him to be 4 or 5 years younger, that's a plus because he's only 25. He should cost less money than Kirk, even though he's probably going to cost us a pretty good penny too, but it'll be a little bit less than Kirk. Also, you alluded to it, the Chicago Bears helping us out in this deal. We pretty much
Gave up nothing.
We pretty much got Solomon Thomas and Jimmy Garoppolo, and we still got 4 picks in the first 3 rounds of next year's draft. So we appreciate you, Chicago, for looking out and everything. Because even if Jimmy G don't work out, it essentially cost us a second-round pick, basically a second-round pick that came through a trade. So we still got our own second or another second. So
it's almost like that was house money for y'all.
Yeah,
that was house money. You take away the uncertainty of any of them quarterbacks coming out. You got a guy who's played NFL snaps, even if it was 3 games last year. He's played in the preseason. Coming from a good system. You give him to Kyle Shanahan. Right. Look at what Kyle Shanahan did with Matt Ryan last year. And y'all got money to spend this summer. That was a great move.
And that's the main thing too. Now we can focus on other areas like offensive line and receivers and weapons for Jimmy come free agent time and next year and the draft. We ain't got that quarterback thing hanging over our head because truth be told, it was going to be a lot of suitors for Kirk Cousins. And like I said, with him being 30 and Jimmy being 25, hey, I like that in itself right there. And then now there's a little bit of concern about the long-term deal where we can actually sign him, but we got the option to franchise him if we can't get him signed right away, which, to me, what I would do, more than likely just thinking about it right up front, go ahead and let him finish out this year, kind of see what you got. Unless you see something that just totally blows you away, tag him, let him come back a full year next year under the system and see how that goes, and then talk long-term. Now, that could hurt you, too, because if he does blow it out the water, then you can end up having to pay him more than what you can do, offering him something up front. But you still got flexibility. Huh?
I think I'd do it that way, like you saying though.
So, you know, they got a lot of flexibility. I even heard some people saying that they could go through these next 8 games as an audition, still go ahead and sign Kirk Cousins in the offseason and use Jimmy as a trade chip. Franchise as a trade chip.
They really could. I was looking at, I was thinking about it, and I heard this on the radio as well. The Redskins have had national TV games the last 3 weeks.
How the hell is that happening?
Right. They played the Eagles, the Chiefs, and Dallas. They lost all 3 of them games, and Cousins did not look great in all 3. Now, it can be said that their line was not what it needed to be against Dallas. But how many national – I tweeted this on Sunday. That last pick was not on him. But how many national TV games do they end up with him coming on the losing end?
Yeah. You know, and he's got to want to get out of there, man, because the receivers aren't showing up. You know, Jordan Reed.
Tell me a tight end that's softer than him.
I mean, that boy, for him to be so big, he stay hurt. They are pretty much relying on Vernon Davis' old ass to keep the tight end position steady. Run game is hit or miss at best. They gave Terrell – well, they didn't give Terrell Pryor real money, I don't think. They gave him a 1 year.
He got 1 year, $8 million. He's going to be lucky to get that next year.
Right. So they really don't have a lot. They definitely missed Deshaun Jackson and Pierre Garçon. That's for damn sure.
But his money's Kirk's money his options got cut a little bit. But I wonder if is it gonna come down to him prioritizing winning or money? Because at this point he got to be at least $60 million deep. Because you think the last 2 years he done made $44 million. I'm not sure what his rookie deal was, but
I think it'd be some money out there.
Jacksonville can pay him.
I think Jacksonville to me, off the top of my head, is the best.
That's the best place.
Denver would have to do some things, I think, to make the money work. Because they got a lot of people playing, you know, making big money on defense. But I think Jacksonville could be the spot. You know, get them out of the NFC, get them to a quote unquote weaker division. That's, you know, more obtainable for them to win. They got a great young defense there.
Arizona
got a run game that he could lean on that he hasn't really had. You say Arizona?
Yeah,
Arizona. That could be an option because Carson Palmer.
He should retire.
Yeah, it's time. I thought it was time.
It's going to be funny this summer because Kirk going to be sitting in the waiting room with Alex Smith for the same interviews pretty much all over the league.
And they're gonna take Alex all day.
Yeah. Hell, Denver needs to holler at him this summer.
I think Denver and the Jags are going to be two teams. Because, you know, another thing with the Kirk Cousins over Jimmy G thing with the 49ers, you know, kind of looking at it now that he's kind of over with, Kirk really may be a better fit with his age, with him being 29 going on 30. He may be a better fit for a team like a Denver that's ready right now to go win. They just need ability at quarterback rather than a team like us where we're clearly in a rebuild. And I think Jimmy, age-wise, again, him being 25, he fits more in line with a younger team that they can, you know, kind of grow together. So we'll see how it works. But let's get to some of these other trades. Jacksonville Savages got even more savagier.
Yep.
Picking up Marcel Darius for a 6th-round pick.
And he under contract for another 2 years.
They control his rights. So I think that should work out good for them. They sacked. They got 10 sacks the last game. That was without him. This should help. One of their glaring weaknesses, though, stopping the run.
Right.
I want to say they last or near the bottom in stopping the run, which you wouldn't think with the way their defense been playing. But this will definitely help them stop the run.
Tom Coughlin's getting it done down there. Changed the culture. He's getting it done. Right.
Another pick, another guy that was picked up for peanuts today. I'm skipping around a little bit here. But Philly traded for Jay Ajayi for a 4th-round pick. So now they got a stable of backs of Ajayi, Blunt, and Leonard Smallwood. So I guess that's a nice set of backs, but to me they don't really complement each other. Maybe I'm missing something.
At all. Jay Ajayi looks like LeGarrette Blount's body double, stunt double, his mini-me. mean, it's the same player to me. Miami wouldn't have gave this dude away. He made the Pro Bowl last year. Had 3 200-yard games, and they gave him away the next year.
It had to be something. It had to be something seriously going on in that locker room with him and that front office. So between him and Adam Gase for them to kind of just ship him off for this. One thing,
the coach is pissed off because he wanted the home run. He wanted the home run runs. He didn't want to just hit the hole. So,
right. He back there shucking and jiving and dancing. What was I going to say about Philly? Damn. Oh, well. We'll move on.
They got their chips in the middle of the table. They're trying to win right now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You were absolutely right about that. Next up, Dwayne Brown goes to the Seattle Seahawks. Dwayne Brown and next year's 5th-round pick, the Houston Texans traded him that to Seattle for a 2019 second-round pick and a 2018 third-round pick. I thought these picks were a little bit lower, but those are pretty high. And for Jeremy Lane. But Jeremy Lane failed the physical. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's why they threw that 5th in. He failed today. Like, they just announced it a couple hours ago.
I want to say I didn't – okay.
Because that 5th wasn't included before.
Gotcha. Oh, that was what I was going to say because I just thought about it now that you brought up Jeremy Lane. I was going to talk about how he's always injured and don't play many games. Jay Ajayi.
You told me last night, too. That's what you said last night. You said he always hurt. Shit, that's okay for them.
But going back real quick to Ajayi, I don't know why I'm thinking he's been in the league or he's older than what he is. He's only been in the league 3 years.
3 years.
That's it.
Out of Boise.
So now they had concerns, rumors or rumor talk or whatever about his knees not being right from a surgery he had in 2011.
Right.
So,
but you remember that's why he dropped in the draft. He balled at Boise, but they was worried about his knees. So he dropped to like the 3rd or 4th round, if I'm not mistaken.
So, if that's the case, and he hasn't been producing much this year.
At all. He ain't scored a touchdown this year.
Yeah, if that's the case, maybe they didn't give him away.
That's kind of like going to the next one. Well, we got to stay on Dwayne Brown. I was skeptical about that trade at first because I know he's not – I think he's 32 or 33. But the good thing about offensive linemen, I had to think about it at the time, especially left tackles. I mean, they can place it at 35, 36.
Easy.
This is an all-in move for Seattle. Right now, let's try to get it because they got to put up points because I think they know the defense ain't leading this team no more. We got to score. Russell got to stay upright. So you can't knock him for that. But I guess my concern is with Houston, you let go of a left tackle, a Pro Bowl left tackle, who's fresh. He ain't played, the first 7 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Just came back this week, played 67 of 71 offensive snaps, and you trade him. I wonder if that trade had something to do with his comments in regards to what McNair said.
That probably pushed it overboard, and I know his wife was pretty vocal on social media as well about it. Not in like a ratchet kind of way, very articulate how she was putting her shit out there. But that, along with the contract disputes, I don't think they're going to come to a long-term agreement anyway. So, he pretty much said, I think over the weekend, he didn't want to really play for this owner anymore. So, at that point, may as well.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and make the move. It's going to suck for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Now who's going to come in there and protect his blind side? But I like that move for Seattle. I definitely like that move for Seattle.
Now, speaking of shaky knees, we were just talking about Jay Ajayi's knee. About 4 o'clock today, my Carolina Panthers traded Kelvin Benjamin up to Carolina North, a.k.a. Buffalo, for a 3rd and a 7th round pick next year. Now, initially looking at it, you're like, okay, they traded away their number 1 receiver. I think it was a method to the madness. He ain't been practicing. He barely gets separation as is. He's just really big. And they would have had to pay him this summer. You're either going to franchise him or you got to pay him. It's one or the other. They got a 3rd and a 7th for him. You move off of that right now. Seems like the smart business decision at this point.
I don't particularly like it because I don't think Devin Funchess is a 1.
I don't either.
And you still got Greg Olsen out. Who's going to be your number 2? And the passing game was already kind of struggling. So to me, this just seems like are they giving up on this season?
I kind of felt like that initially, but I know they want to get Curtis Samuel more involved. They like
from Ohio State, right?
Yeah, they like the kid Bird that he played. I think his name is Demir Bird. He balled for them during the preseason.
Okay.
You still got Dixon there. I mean, at the end of the day, yes. I mean, the offense is struggling, so I guess you got to get something for him right now. But it does kind of seem like they're bailing on. Maybe they're going to more of a conservative approach. Leaning on the ground game, leaning on the defense.
I was just gonna say, only thing I can see changing is they about to start back pounding Cam again.
I really wanted Benjamin this week. I'm surprised about it. I didn't see this coming at all.
No, this was a lot of these were kind of surprising, but that one was like, okay.
Yeah, at 5-3, you trade your number 1 receiver for a 3rd round pick in next year's draft. Unless, like we just said about Ajayi, they know something more about his knee than what.
That, you got the concerns. They feel it's going to be a constant concern every year coming into camp about his weight. He might be the Eddie Lacy of wide receivers.
Yeah.
So a lot of things go into these decisions. We just see the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of this stuff been be brewing for quite a while before we ever get any kind of whim on it.
Right. All right. Let's move through these last few. These ain't really tidbits. Can you tell me when they're gonna fire Ben Mac? Is Ben McAdoo fired this summer?
Well, what's that term they use in the NCAA? There is a lack of institutional control.
That's a good one.
Because the New York Giants defense is just getting to how they live. We talking about Rob McNair talking about the prisoners running the inmates running the prison, inmates running the asylum. Because this is the second corner. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie was the first one to get suspended indefinitely, not for a game, indefinitely for violation of team rules. Now I haven't got word on what did Janoris Jenkins do?
He didn't come back from the bye on time. He extended his week off.
So you already got a week off.
Right.
Already got a week. And you just gonna take a little more time. See, that people is the signs of a player who's like, I'm on a 1-16 FDB.
It sounds like so he pulled a no call, no show. Didn't call the coach, didn't call position, nobody, just didn't show up.
He didn't call.
Didn't show up on time, no nothing.
He didn't even pull a Martavius Bryant and say I'm sick.
That cat, Ben McAdoo, looks like To Catch a Predator like every episode. He looks just like the person on there.
I don't think they take that dude seriously, man.
Would you take him seriously? You know what? When we get to the offseason, whenever there is such a thing as an offseason, I really want to go through the list of coaches. We're going to play a game called coordinator, head coach. Because a lot of these head coaches, they really ain't number coordinators.
That's it. That's it. With a head coach title and paycheck.
That's it. Next up, this last story here. This is the most Cleveland Browns thing that the Cleveland Browns could have done. The most Cleveland Browns thing.
Oh, man.
The Cleveland Browns have finally got quarterback help. Never mind the fact that they done told Deshaun Kaiser, you are the future. They've been playing him, letting him get his ass kicked every week. But they agreed to trade for A.J. McCarron, another unknown commodity. We really don't know how good he is. They had a deal in place with Cincinnati for a 2nd and 3rd round pick to go to Cincy for A.J. McCarron. Cincy sent their paperwork in on time. Browns did.
Guess who didn't?
The trade deadline is 4 p.m. Every damn trade deadline. And they sent the paperwork in late talking about, man, we sent it. We figured it'd be a grace period. The fuck? The fuck?
Oh, God. Hey, who is responsible? Hugh Jackson, right?
Shout it.
Got to be him. Or what's the GM name?
You know what needs to happen? They need to go hire that dude, Jeremy Piven. And the people, if you don't know who Jeremy Piven is, he's the dude from Entourage. They need to have him, pay him to be Ari that day And to go in there and just, you remember how Ari fired people, just threw all their stuff off their desk?
Yeah.
You're fired. Get out. They need to go hire Ari to fire everybody in the front office. Every last soul.
Cause so he looked at Deshaun Watson. Nah, we don't like him. We looked at Carson Wentz. Nah, we don't like him either. All right, we like AJ McCarron. All right, fuck it. We got a lot of time to fill this paperwork out. Let's go to lunch real quick, and we'll come back.
Never mind the fact Deshaun Watson played in the title game against the NFL defense 2 years in a row and put up over 400 yards each game. And you gonna go with Deshaun Cousin. Man, bless their heart.
Yeah. Cleveland Browns, Hugh Jackson. Oh boy, you pulled a good one on them people in Cleveland. But you sold them, told them that you was gonna turn it around. The quarterback carousel was gonna stop.
Head coach, coordinator.
There you go. There you go. So, people, we appreciate y'all tuning in as usual. What's the score looking like on the World Series? Let's pull that up real quick. I know it's tonight is Game 6 back in LA. This series has been crazy, people. If you have not been watching it, I think Houston is up. Yeah, Houston is up 3-2. Game 6 tonight in LA. Let's check the score real quick. Astros are up 1-0, bottom of the 5th inning. So I'm gonna check out this last half of that game. Anything you got for the people, Hey?
No. Follow me on Twitter at RK6000. I talk sports. It's been a good week of sports, people. I really want the Dodgers to get this series, but it seems like Houston is a team of destiny right now. It really does.
This series has been crazy, man. I wouldn't mind another game, a Game 7. So we'll see how it finish up. We'll have a chat one way or the other when we see y'all on Thursday. Again, don't forget to follow us at AA Sportscast on Twitter, IG, and the Facebook page. You can also reach us by watching on YouTube. We appreciate that by liking, and subscribing. Hit that subscribe button. It's right there. Also, those of you that always listen to us on the go on the Spreaker app, we appreciate that love. Remember to tap that heart and make sure you follow us there for all of our shows and downloaded content audio style. And if you want to hit me up personally, I'm Diego DeRich on Twitter, and you can give me some feedback there. So for AA Sports, straight sports, no chaser. Uncle Hay, Diego Barich, we'll holler at y'all on Thursday, man. That'll be easy. Peace.